Iran has opened another chapter in the conflict, launching fresh missile strikes against American military positions. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says its latest operations mark a direct response to U.S. military actions. From military bases to strategic waterways, Iran is widening the battlefield across the region. The confrontation is now stretching across land, sea, and air, with both sides escalating their military campaign. The IRGC says it launched ballistic missiles at a U.S. airbase and a CENTCOM facility in Jordan on July 28. Iran described the strike as retaliation for what it called continuing American aggression against the Islamic Republic. The IRGC Aerospace Force claimed responsibility for carrying out the ballistic missile operation. IRGC's statement read, and I quote, "The U.S. Army Central Air Base and Command Center in Jordan was targeted by ballistic missiles. The grand and epic-making people of Islamic Iran, your continued conscious presence in the arena has filled the world with wonder and admiration, and your benevolent prayers have guaranteed the victorious operations of the fighters of Islam." In response to the aggressive actions of the child-killing U.S. Army, a short while ago, the brave fighters of the IRGC Aerospace Force targeted the U.S. Army Central Air Base and Command Center in Jordan with several ballistic missiles. As long as the threats against the Islamic Republic of Iran continue and the illegal and wicked actions of the American forces against our interests, ongoing the resistance will also continue. The threats of American officials and illegal interventions against our interests must stop. And victory is not but from Allah, the exalted in might, the wise. Unquote. The IRGC Navy says it intercepted and stopped 3 oil tankers in the Strait of Hormuz after they ignored repeated Iranian warnings. IRGC statement read, and I quote, 3 violating oil tankers were targeted and stopped. To the faithful and history-making people of Islamic Iran, well done to you who, by being in the field for 150 days and nights, gave a new meaning to resistance and displayed a new standard of a nation's awareness and will. Your zealous sons in the IRGC Navy, while continuing to exercise complete management and control over the Strait of Hormuz, continue to safeguard this trust of the faithful and awake nation of Islamic Iran. Hours ago, 3 violating oil tankers that continued to move along an insecure and illegal path, ignoring our warnings, were targeted and stopped. The IRGC Navy warns once again that the illegal interventions and commands of the child-killing U.S. Army against vessels in the region will not remain unanswered. And victory is not but from Allah, the exalted in might, the wise. Unquote. Earlier, U.S. and Saudi Arabian forces carried out precision strikes against Iran-aligned positions inside Iraq. U.S. Central Command statement read, and I quote, U.S. Central Command and the Saudi Arabian Armed Forces conducted precision strikes in Iraq, July 28, against Iran-aligned terrorists that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, directed to attack U.S. forces and Saudi energy infrastructure. U.S. and Saudi fighter aircraft struck multiple terrorist logistics and weapons sites across eastern Iraq in a strong response to over 30 IRGC-directed aerial drone attacks in the last 72 hours. The unwarranted attacks against U.S. forces were not successful. From February through April 2026, there were more than 600 attempted attacks on U.S. citizens and facilities by Iran-aligned terrorist militias in Iraq. The IRGC and its terrorist proxies must cease these attacks to avoid further U.S. military response. Unquote. The United States says the strikes followed more than 30 IRGC-directed drone attacks over the last 72 hours. CENTCOM warned Iran and its proxy forces that continued attacks will trigger additional U.S. military responses. Just as Netanyahu met Donald Trump in Washington, Iran opened another military front with fresh missile attacks. The latest Iranian strike unfolded as Netanyahu pushed new intelligence on Tehran's nuclear program. Iran has once again targeted American forces, escalating tensions across the Middle East. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says the confrontation with the United States is far from over. Iran's expanding military campaign is now stretching across multiple countries in the region. Fresh attacks have once again put U.S. military installations on high alert. CENTCOM says U.S. and Saudi Arabian forces carried out coordinated strikes in Iraq, targeting Iran-backed militant infrastructure in a joint military operation. U.S. Central Command statement read, and I quote, At 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time today, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps forces launched multiple ballistic missiles from Iran in an attempted surprise attack on U.S. forces based in the Middle East. All Iranian missiles were successfully intercepted. U.S. forces remain vigilant and at a high state of readiness. US Central Command and the Saudi Arabian Armed Forces conducted precision strikes in Iraq, July 28, against Iran-aligned terrorists that the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, directed to attack US forces and Saudi energy infrastructure. US and Saudi fighter aircraft struck multiple terrorist logistics and weapons sites across eastern Iraq in a strong response to over 30 IRGC-directed aerial drone attacks in the last 72 hours. The unwarranted attacks against US forces were not successful. From February through April 2026, there were more than 600 attempted attacks on US citizens and facilities by Iran-aligned terrorist militias in Iraq. The IRGC and its terrorist proxies must cease these attacks to avoid further US military response, unquote. A US official says Iran launched fewer than 4 ballistic missiles during the latest attack, according to CNN. The strike placed the American military installation in Jordan directly in the crosshairs once again. The latest barrage has forced US forces across the region into heightened operational readiness. Reports from Iranian media claim operations at Qatar's Ras Laffan gas facilities were disrupted. The impact of the conflict is now reaching one of the Gulf's most important energy hubs. Questions are growing over whether Jordan's Muwafaq Salti Air Base was the intended target. Meanwhile, Benjamin Netanyahu says he held one of his best meetings ever with President Donald Trump.
I just finished an excellent meeting with President Trump. When I say excellent, it's not just lip service. A conversation with full partnership, mutual support, understanding of the common goal to ensure that Iran does not have nuclear weapons, and other goals as well. This is one of the best conversations I have had with the President of the United States, our friend President Donald Trump. His entire senior team was there, and ours too. Here too, there was an opportunity to exchange ideas and to coordinate important coordination for the security and future of the State of Israel.
Diplomacy continues inside meeting rooms while missiles continue flying across the Middle East. The Iran-US confrontation has entered another dangerous phase with no clear sign of de-escalation.